Welcome to our podcast, Proper Cuppa Tea, the show where you can put your feet up and have a good old natter. Thank you for tuning in today. We're going to unwind, relax, and have a nice cup of tea. Morning, ladies. Who have we got in the room?
Hannah.
Really? Is this how we're starting? This is very mature.
Hannah Murray, the beautiful mind coach.
Okay, that's better. And who have we got?
So cheeky. Laura Playfoot. Just Laura Playfoot.
Who we love. And who have we got?
Shamila.
Oh, I like that. What do I get then? She got nice noises.
I don't actually know.
I can see this podcast is going to be a sensational hit. Basically, if anyone's listening right now, you're listening to four women, all married, going to talk nonsense for how long?
Oh, about 20 minutes.
Over a cup of tea.
Cup of tea. Great cup of tea. Very
Great
strong.
cup of tea.
Really
very
good cup of tea.
Amazing.
I like weak tea.
No, strong cup of tea.
Little dunk.
Builder's tea.
Little dunk. Oh, what biscuit of preference would you dunk?
Oh, see, do you know what? I don't really dunk a biscuit, but do you know what I love? Has anyone ever been to the 10th hole and had one of their donuts?
Oh, that cream thing.
Never had the donut.
I said, 10th hole donuts, apple donuts with caramel topping. Oh my God.
The best thing to dunk, and I think it's, you taught me this.
Who's you? 'Cause
Laura,
remember
my
when-
wife.
Yes.
My now wife.
They can't see your finger.
No, they can't see my finger, thankfully. My wife. You bite the end and bottom off of a twirl and then you suck the tea through a twirl.
It's revolutionary.
I tell you, wow, Shamila, are you doing this later? Chop the ends off.
Bite the ends off and bottom of a twirl and then suck the tea through the twirl.
No, I've never done that.
I feel like you're missing out.
When we grew up in South Africa, we used to do that with peppermint crisp. We used to bite the top off and the end off.
Peppermint crisp.
See, and then we used to drink our milk through it, and it used to turn into a peppermint chocolate milkshake.
Oh, that sounds
Do you
gross.
remember peppermint crisp?
I love peppermint.
They're
See,
good, aren't they?
I
Was
don't
my
like
favourite
chocolate or mint together.
Oh no, peppermint crisp is different.
No.
It's a different bag.
No, I'm not.
Find it here.
People who like after eights, that's gross.
No, I don't get it.
It's like having a dessert but brushing your teeth at the same time.
Do you feel better for that?
Yeah.
Well, before we actually went on air, we said something that was quite funny. How many weekdays, hours was it after we got married did the person see the real us? I liked Shamila's answer, which was...
He saw it before we got married. Only because my husband's Tanzanian and he's from a tribe called the Chaga tribe, similar to the Maasai people. Mm-hmm. I was like, listen, love, I do not do like... I've seen the YouTube videos. You got to do your research. I was like, I don't do drinking blood, killing animals, cooking
God.
smelly offal. I don't do it. I may be Southern African, but this girl got a lot of
Were they
things
your
she doesn't do.
non-negotiables?
Definitely non-negotiables. And he's like, oh, it's really healthy. Like if you drink blood, they da-da-da-da. I was like,
my
don't
God.
care. Don't do it. Very nutritious for your tribe. I'm very respectful of it. I don't do camping. I don't do...
She only does bougie hotels.
Living in the village. No, seriously, like no water, cooking outside, all of I hate smoke. And you know the thing with smoke? It follows you. Have you ever had a barbecue and you're like,
it
oh my God,
stinks.
the person that says, oh my God, the smoke is coming. The smoke follows you. So I said to Leo, I don't do those things.
Oh, I love that. Setting your standards.
Yeah.
And now Math's going to feel really privileged he's married to me. My only issue is I don't eat off anything unless it's white.
Yeah,
That's a very unusual thing. And then when we came to your house the other day, I noticed that you gave me a cup of tea in a non-white cup. And I was like, that's a
yeah,
little
but
bit
hers
weird,
was
isn't
in
it?
a white cup.
Mine's in a white cup.
Oh, that's fine.
It's all right for everyone else.
But isn't it funny how we have these little icks? And I like the fact that Shamila's was even bigger than mine.
I don't feel like we should move on to the icks, otherwise Laura and I may take over this podcast.
What is your biggest ick that you didn't know, Laura? I'm going to say to Laura because Hannah's like cringing as we speak.
No.
What's your new ick of Hannah's that's only occurred since the marriage?
Just remember, we have only been married for
I
a
don't
month.
I don't have a new ick.
Oh,
New?
okay.
I don't have a new ick.
There's an old one.
There's only one thing, and she knows it's an ick. It's
Don't embarrass me.
She can't. I'm not going to.
Safe
What?
place. It's a safe
Yeah, the
space.
safe. Yeah.
Safe space.
She
No
can't
one's
keep.
listening.
You know, like if you're sitting at night and you're in bed and you give each other cuddles, you can't do that with Hannah because she goes like this.
Oh no,
She's got
Anna.
like she twitches, and like if we're sitting on the sofa and she'll put her feet on me, you know, you just put
I
your
blame
hand
it on
your feet,
ADHD.
and she twitches constantly, and I'm like sitting there going like this, and I'm like I can't
That's
cope.
like, it's like our dog Larry. If he sits at my feet and he
She's
twitches,
comparing you to Larry.
You comparing me to a golden retriever.
well, Larry twitches and it sets me like jiggling.
Yeah.
It really does set you jiggling.
Yeah.
That's the thing with
Laura's
me.
like, get off.
Please stop doing that.
It's weird, isn't it?
The only other thing which you know as well is Hannah. We go to bed and I take about an hour to fall asleep because you know my head doesn't switch off. Hannah literally falls asleep as soon as her head hits the pillow.
Oh,
She's like,
amen,
"Good night,"
sister.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you've got to be kidding me."
I have
That's it.
never, ever been a person yet to struggle with sleep.
Really?
I can sleep anywhere, in any bed, in any country, on any holiday, no matter what. But I cannot do it without a calming app now. Since COVID, I cannot fall asleep into good quality sleep without some form of headspace or calming app or listening. Our new version is listening to Candlelight on Spotify.
I tell you, they're living the dream. They
Yeah,
are.
married life has taken up the next level.
I tell you, I have never troubled with sleep. I don't
Really?
know about you guys, but
Awful.
sometimes you can fall asleep really quickly, and on some nights even quicker than what you thought. Because I just go to bed, put my head on the pillow, and Matt will say to me, he'll nudge me and he'll go, "You asleep already?" And I go, "Are you kidding me? I was, but you've just woke me up." That's not cool, is it?
No.
I just can't sleep. I'm terrible.
And I love
I'm
a
like
cup
that.
of tea before bed.
Oh no. It makes me need the toilet at 4 a.m.
Don't drink tea or coffee after 5 o'clock at
No,
night.
I love a cup of tea.
No.
And Math, every day, 6 o'clock in the morning, he'll bring me up a cup of tea.
Yeah, Hannah does that
Slave.
for me. I get my
That's
coffee
sweet.
in the morning. Every
I've
morning.
got to have it.
We
Just-
found these questions on TikTok actually this week, and it was like questions to ask your soulmate. And I wonder if I've still got them saved on here actually. But
Don't ask me again.
no, I'm not going to ask you again.
We could give
but
different
one of
answers.
Shamila.
one of the things that it did say, which you did say about the coffee, was what is one little thing I do for you every single day that you love? And that was your thing, that every morning I
get a
bring
cup of
you
coffee.
coffee.
Cup of coffee.
That's
And it
nice.
is. What does Leo do for you, Shamila?
Makes me a cup of tea in the evening.
Oh, see, it's special.
Well, when you
isn't
get
it?
home.
It is special.
You can't beat
Yeah,
it. It's like
it is special.
Loving a
some
cup.
people love
Or run me a
gifts.
bath.
Yes, some people
Yeah.
like gifts. That's their love language. Mine is simple: cup of tea, white cup, happy days.
Simple.
Yeah, I'm not into drama.
Drama?
I like a white cup, the right looking cup of tea, and I'm all in. So that's why this podcast's called A Proper Cup of Tea. Because to me, I have a proper cup of tea. Not in Laura's
Yeah,
words.
I mean,
No.
tea is a big thing to British people.
It
When I
is.
first came to the UK, I was like, why is everyone asking me for tea? Back home, we only drink tea in the morning.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. Have your porridge or your bread and tea. And then when you come to the UK, the culture shock is so different because when you start working or engaging with people, do you want tea? Do you want a cup of tea? Do you want tea? Like, what is it? This is weird.
I feel sad. Do you want a cup of tea? I feel happy. Do you want a cup of tea?
But now I get it. It's like, it's kind of saying, take a seat. I hear you. I see you.
It's like, yeah, it's that comfort thing, isn't
It's
it?
comfort, yeah.
And I'm giving you time whilst I drink the cup of tea
Yes.
to have a conversation.
Yeah.
So if you're and that's what I like, is that time out. And here I've got some really amazing volunteers, and every half an hour they'll be looking at me and they might bring me over a cup of tea, but
That's
they
nice.
know that that's what. And I might only drink half of it, but it's that thought of they know my love is a cup of tea, and so they're always looking out for me. So I just think that sometimes there's nothing kinder.
We've all got our quirks.
Yeah. What's your? Oh, that's what I forgot. Look, Hannah. What's Laura's quirk? That's a
Laura's
little
quirk?
ick. A new ick.
Oh,
maybe.
the ick. Yeah, I did tell her this ick the other day. Laura's got this really annoying trait of, and I did find a resolution to it, but she didn't follow it. So Laura has this really annoying trait where she thinks it's appropriate to blow your nose and throw the snotty tissue on the floor.
Oh, no.
So I went to B&M's
Wow.
and I bought her a bogey bin.
Oh, my God.
The said
I tell you,
said
there's
bogey
weird things in
bin
this
never
life.
got used.
I bet it's empty and it's back in our charity shop.
Like, who
Is it back
invented
in-
a
No,
bogey
no,
I
it's-
bin?
can't believe that you just said
It's
that.
still in our bedroom, but it doesn't get used by Laura.
But who invented a bogey bin?
That's great.
B&M's. It's this tiny little bin that's actually meant for your bathroom for like your cosmetic wipes or your cotton buds, but it's Laura's bogey bin.
All I'm going to say is, at least I blow my nose.
Exactly. It's not sniffing.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
hate sniffing. I
That,
hate
that noise.
Have you ever been anywhere? Now, this is where I
Yeah.
get a little bit, where someone's wiped their nose
Oh.
in their arm and then they go to shake your hand.
We can't mention names, but I went to a specialist appointment last Friday.
I honestly thought I was going to be sick.
And the specialist was so full of snot, he was wiping it all over his sleeves and his hands before he touched my body. I'm very glad he put gloves on.
But we're in the hospital, and I'm thinking there's a sink there and there's gloves.
No.
Like, there's plenty
You're
of stuff you
wiping
could wipe your
snot
hands.
on your hands. I was like, ugh.
No, I've
yeah.
got a very weak stomach.
But
So-
it's those awkward things. How do you tell someone?
Bless him, though. He was sitting there and it was literally pouring, and I was just like,
Oh,
oh.
no.
I love
But not only that, he was then typing on the keyboard that someone else was going to have to use.
But there was tissue, but he just wasn't using the tissue.
And a sink, he could have washed his hands.
But do you know what it is? Maybe
So
maybe he
judgmental.
was panicking and thinking, my nose is running.
Yeah,
my nose
no,
is
just-
running,"
I don't
and
wanna
then
deal
you
with
don't
it.
see the solution.
It's happened. It has happened to us all, hasn't it?
I love Shamila's kindness in her answer, whereas I'll be going, don't be such a filthy toad and wipe your nose. It's
Yeah.
quite easy,
But
isn't
some
it?
things are obvious, but they're not obvious if you're panicking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you
I've
know
got
what
a
I
great
mean?
question. Do you or do you not tell somebody if they have lipstick on their teeth?
Oh, yeah,
Always.
always tell
I
them.
do. Always.
Or
Do I have lipstick?
what
on?
if
No.
you saw
Yeah.
somebody coming out
I'm
of
joking.
the bathroom and they've got their skirt?
Oh, that's
tucked in
happened
their
so
pants?
many times with people who wear tights.
Yes. That's
I've
the
seen
question.
I
that.
just always think you'd want someone to tell you, wouldn't you?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So you just
I
say
went
it.
and did an awareness session at a school 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no.
It wasn't so bad, but my cardigan was inside out. And a student on the third lesson was like, "Miss, your cardigan." I was like, "Oh my God." And I was thinking, I saw all these students, all these teachers.
And no one's
And
told
nobody,
you.
it was
Oh
my
my
cardigan.
God.
It wasn't my shirt or really.
I have had the tucked into your tights issue at work once when I was in proper nursing uniform, except I had one of the 3/4 length dresses on and the back of my dress was caught in my tights and I walked around the ward.
Yeah, but you've got a lovely bum, so that's fine.
Oh, okay, thanks for that.
See, at least you got a compliment.
TMI,
I would have gone-
everyone.
I know.
It's
TMI.
awful when it happens.
Yeah.
I just think that it's that. I remember once I was only 19, and I was in a conference, and this guy, he was such a gentleman. He pulled my arm, like tapping your wrist to get your attention, and he said to me, "I think I can say her name because she's not from around here. I think Elaine's come out of the toilets and not." And she had tucked her knickers in her, but rather than give her embarrassment, he actually said to me, "Could you tell her?" I thought that was quite sweet.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like another lady to a lady.
Yeah, I thought that was quite sweet that he actually thought that it would embarrass her. So I thought, fair play. I like that. I thought there are some real kind people. I mean, Math, he would have probably have laughed and not said anything. I don't know. What do you think, Shamila? What would Leo do?
I think you'd have asked another woman to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is funny, isn't it, how... So anything else happened since you've got married that you didn't know before? I love this. I've been married 27 years. How long have you been married, Shamila?
5.
No, I don't think so.
It's only been
Life
what,
is a month.
6 weeks?
Yeah.
We'll bring her back on the show in a year's time, shall we? The ick list would have grown.
Yeah.
Or the...
I don't know,
But the
you
love
know.
grows as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think marriage was always one of those things that I felt was like to keep up with the Joneses until you realise that actually you found the person that you want to
Yes.
marry, and it has a completely different feel and connotation behind that meaning of love and soulmate when you've actually met the last piece
person.
of your puzzle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I don't think I didn't have an expectation that things would change. I just felt like it would get better and
It
it
would
will grow. And I think that's really, I mean, it's only been a few weeks, give it time. But from my perspective, I don't want for anything more than all I've already got. I just want it to grow. And I think day
So
by
good.
day you're dealing with challenges and facing life. Did you just say thank God? But I genuinely,
It's true.
we've both been married before, and both of those marriages were for the wrong reasons, and both of them never ever in a million years had the feeling or the desire or the want that our marriage does now. And that's where you know that it's right, and you found your soulmate, and that's the difference. Our wedding day was the most incredible day. Beautiful. And I wouldn't have changed a thing about it. It was exactly how we wanted it, and we got our pockets of time together. We got pockets of time with the important people. We just had so much fun.
We might have been in that group because we was at the wedding. It was really good. Wedding. It was really good because everybody was there celebrating you. Because sometimes you get Uncle Knobhead, Auntie Beatrice that you don't know, you've had no communication with.
That was a non-negotiable for us.
Yeah, and I just think that was why yours was special, is because everybody there was celebrating you.
Do you know, the thing is, though, is when you look back at your wedding day, I think sometimes we have an expectation of having everyone there to please other people, and we said to each other that we weren't going to do that. We were only going to have people there that we wanted to be there, that were part of our lives, not someone you see every 5 to 10 years sort of thing. But it was really lovely seeing my friends from Brighton and my friends from Warrington and Hannah's family and Hannah's friends all getting on so well. It was like Hannah's cousin and one of my best friends. It was like they'd known each other for 20 years. It was, and it's when you get to a certain age, I think, and when you get to a stage in your life, age is irrelevant. When you get a stage in your life when you're comfortable and you've grown, you know who's in your life for the right reasons, and you've kind of outgrown a lot of people.
Yeah, and you
however hard.
Yeah.
And it's nice then when you see all those people together in one room just having a really bloody lovely time. It was great, wasn't it? We loved it.
I think as you get older, you realise that your circle of trust and your circle of authenticity starts to shrink.
Yeah.
And it's never a bad thing. And I think I definitely approach friendships and links in the community and opportunities to collaborate with a sense of quality over quantity. Yeah. And I'm quite all right with that. And we could have had this big lavish wedding, but actually it wouldn't have been personable to us, and it wouldn't have had the same impact emotionally for us than it did. So I'm quite okay with the fact that it was small and the right people were there. And I think it just adds that level of maturity in knowing that what you're doing in terms of getting married is 100% certified
it's
for
you.
you.
It's not us, though, is it, to have that big,
no.
It's just, it is very much about, I always remember my mum. Love my mum to bits, but sometimes she comes out with some balmy things. But I always remember one thing that she said to me when I was younger, and she said, when you get older, if you can count your true friends on one hand, you are the most wealthiest person ever.
Yeah, so
and
true.
I always used to think that's rubbish. And I used to think I had loads of friends, and you still have a lot of acquaintances, but it's working out what's an acquaintance and what's a real friend.
Yeah. And I always think that's the difference, isn't it? It's like I remember the first time I met Hannah, the first time I met you, the first time I met Shamila. And it's like sometimes some people just come into your life and it's heart connection straight away. There's no effort, but I know I remember Shamila, you said to me the first time I met you, and we'd known each other online.
Yeah.
And you said to me, I feel, Becki, that I could, if I tell you something, you would trust me straight away. She said, I just feel that about you. And I went, Shamila, that's exactly who I am. And there are some people that come into your life and you just go, I've got your back, your front, I'm in your team.
Yeah.
And there are other people that you have to maybe try a bit more to get that feeling. And I think I don't want to do that trying anymore.
No.
Yeah.
So I like what you said, Laura. I think that's true, is find your team and that's good.
Yeah.
Because I think that there are so many people that, you know, there'll be people that will queue up for Hannah, people queue up for Laura, people queue up for Shamila. But you want the people when the rubbish hits the fan. I was about to say a naughty word there. The rubbish hits the fan and you go, would I phone that person? Yes, I would.
But I think it's also really important to remember that some people do come into your life and they're
For
an
a
amazing
season.
part of your life.
For
but
that,
they're there for
yeah.
a short period of time.
The season
that's
thing is
okay.
interesting.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Someone said that on the radio the other day, or we were listening to an audiobook or something, and it very much is some people come into your life just for that season, and they're meant to be there for that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean they're going to stick around.
No.
Yeah.
And it's learning that, do I hold on or do I let go? And that's the bit that I'm not very good at, the letting go, because I always want people to be, I'm a people pleaser to a degree,
Yeah, same.
but I always want to be that, I don't want anyone to feel left hurt. I want people to feel like, I mean, hey, that's why the charity's called Spark. It wouldn't be very good, would it, if I was willingly not doing that? But I don't want to upset anybody, but at the same time, you have to protect your heart.
Hannah says to me all the time, she went, if you just gave yourself even 50% of what you give others, you'd be
You're a winner.
But
Wow.
then I think that's an element of people pleaser. I'm 100% a people pleaser, and I've always been really uncomfortable saying that because there's a
negative
100%.
connotation to it.
Because if you say, "Oh, you're a people pleaser," but I will put people before myself. Max comes first, Hannah comes first, I come second. You know, that's the way it works. But I think that's also you have to have those people in your life that are like that. Because if we were all completely selfish, God, it would be very different, wouldn't it? You know,
Yeah.
and it's not, being selfish is not a negative thing. I actually really respect people and have a lot of admiration for people that put themselves first.
But it was
you have
Hannah-
to have balance.
Hannah the other day, well, since I've been friends with Hannah, I've noticed she's quite good at boundaries.
Very good. Very good.
And she taught me, without even knowing, how to set healthy boundaries. And I remember the first time I said, actually, no, I won't be attending that. And I was like, wow, the world didn't stop. Do you know what I mean? And it was like so empowering. And I hate that word too, but it's the truth. And now I just say quite happily, actually, it's a no from me. Because I have to protect
That's so important.
my heart, my soul, my mind. And sometimes it's just a no. And I don't have to give a reason.
Yeah.
Because people that know me know that, yes, I'd like to be there, but sometimes my body's just a no.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we're all allowed to make a choice. Like, there's no...
Absolutely.
It's everyone else's expectation that we say yes to everything,
Yeah.
not ours.
And that's what I love about being with people. And that's why I surround myself with people that help me learn stronger boundaries. And Math's always saying, which is my husband, he's always telling me you should have better boundaries. And I think that that's so true, but yet so hard when you live... Because people will say to me, oh, it's Becki from Spark. And I'll be like, no, I'm Becki.
Yeah.
I just want to be Becki. And it's like the expectations of I'm going to be this person. I'm like, no, you don't know me. I'm still Becki. And I'm only seen because of the charity. There's two different expectations, aren't there?
The way I do it is distance. So I have people that are like 500 kilometers away. And then the distance becomes closer according to family and people that align with things that I value. So, for example, if it's community, my friends all have traits around, like, and when I say friends, I mean close people that I'm comfortable with. Share some of the values I share, whether that's family, community, honesty, empowerment, women, whatever. And I believe, like, if I don't align with someone, I wish you well, but our paths are not the same. I'm like, hey, you're over there.
Yeah.
I see you, but you're not going to come closer
And
to
that's
me
cool.
That's a really good word.
Yeah.
I love
not
that.
because I hate you, but actually we're not on the same level.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And I have a choice. The distance people come to Shamila. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Obviously, those close are like your husband, my brothers, my son, and then in that tribe are like you guys. But actually, generally, I'm very secretive. People know me in the community, but if you ask them things about me, they're things they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And those are the people. You're like 20 kilometers away. Actually, our friendship works when you're 20 kilometers away.
Yeah.
I love that.
And sometimes I'm
Mine
going to have
works
to
with
put
you.
you 200 kilometers
Yeah.
away.
This
I
week,
love that.
you're about 500 kilometres away.
I
You know?
love that.
And that is like, I see you, the phone ring, and I'm thinking, here we go again. You want something, so you're going to go
Vacuums.
500 kilometers away.
And that's why,
And then I have time for those
Close.
closest to me.
and then when you're close to someone, guess what you're doing? You're having a cup of tea. Because
And
you
I
need to
heard-
be somebody close to have a cup of tea with, don't you?
Exactly. And I heard I heard the story where somebody said, if you had £2, how many pennies would that be?
200.
200
This is
pennies.
when we're going, are we good at maths?
So imagine how heavy it is to carry 200 pennies. But it's easier to just carry a £2 coin. So I would rather have, and I'll use Hannah as an example, one Hannah that's really valuable than having 200 pennies or 10,000 pennies, 10,000 friends. It's heavy.
I
You
love
get it?
that.
But if I just had a small group and I'm like, these people are valuable, I'm carrying less.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Love
Which
that.
is valued more.
Which is valued more. I'd rather have people like away and then the ones closer
Yes.
are less, but they're valuable and I can really give them my time. That's how I do it.
I like that.
But people are lying to me because I can't like relate. I think that's quite fake because if I can't relate to who you are, how can we really be close? Do you know
You
what I
say
mean?
that to me all the time. She said, "Your face sometimes when we meet people," and I'm like, "Do you know what it is?" We just met up with Bianca for breakfast, and I just said to her, "I said, I am just someone that I suppose because when you've been burnt, your level of trust."
Very
Goes to a
small.
point where to let people in, you trust less,
Yeah.
don't you? You
Yeah,
have to really
yeah.
get to know someone. So when I first meet people, I know some people think, I'm a bit standoffish. It's not. It's because I'm sussing you out, whether I can trust you
I do that.
at the moment. Because, if you've had it all and you've lost it all a couple of times, you are a little bit more sacred with your time.
I just very aware of if I don't want a cup of tea with you, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean I'm not interested in you. That means I can't waste my time.
Yeah.
Because my energy levels are so low. Because people
Yeah.
pull at you all the time. And so you do. I love that. I'm going to keep that in my head as we finish our lovely podcast, which has
Oh, we
been
could have kept
amazing.
talking,
I
right?
know. I know. Look at that. It's like, woo! Well, I know. But otherwise, we can come back for round 2, you see.
Yeah, I like that.
But isn't it lovely how we just have no agenda, we had no script, no questions, and we've just had this wonderful time together. So one last comment from each of us before we say farewell.
Quality over quantity.
Love that. What do you think, Laura?
Go to Shamila first.
Shamila?
I'm trying to think of something funny. It's not
I know.
coming to me yet.
Oh, something funny. What can I say? I don't know.
I was going to tell a joke and then I just remembered it's probably not appropriate.
I'm going to take away from this podcast the distance thing.
Yeah.
Do it, honestly.
I
Do
love
it.
that. Because I love to visually see something, to be able to understand
And
it.
you know what? It gives you peace.
Oh, yes.
Because if someone does it to you, you're like, it's fine. I respect that. You need me to be far, far away from you and we can love each other from far away. Honestly,
I'm cool with that.
And I respect people.
And I can bellow
Because not
quite
everyone
loud.
wants a Shamila in their life.
I think, and I know we're trying to go, but I think we all spend too much time worrying about what people might think of us or why they've done something or the behaviours that they've shared, when actually they're allowed to do that. They come with their own motive. It's their perception of stuff, and that is fine. We waste too much time in our heads worrying about the what ifs, and we miss out on living in the present.
And
I love
also,
that,
we
yeah.
spend too much time listening to negative things people say. My brother was talking about a message my aunt sent my niece. Anyway, I said to him, listen, if someone called you a dog, are you going to grow a tail and wake up in the morning barking? You won't. So whatever they're going to say, just be like, whatever, it's cool, chill out. I'm not going to change who I am. The minute you take it serious, if it's someone in your tribe really close to you, but actually don't worry
Yeah,
about
just
what
let it
other
be.
people are saying. No one else is thinking it anyway.
My best friend Vic always says to me, what people say behind your back is none of your bloody business.
There we go.
Oh, I love that.
And that is my bit. There you go. Thanks very
And
much.
I
Don't
think
worry,
that-
guys. I'll say it to your face. I'll say it over a loudspeaker
Or on this podcast.
or on this podcast. But yeah, so
Just be kind.
just be kind. I love that.
It is World
Be kind.
Kindness Day today.
Oh, there we go. So to our
Yeah.
listeners, do something kind.
Yeah.
Yes.
To
The
someone.
kindness is to the listeners. Au revoir.